Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of True Crime Tuesday with your host, me, Feminine and Fierce. I hope you guys have had a great week so far. I cannot believe that March is pretty much over already. I mean, what is going on? 2026 is just flying by. Or maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. One or the other, but it's definitely flying by. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining. Hey, everybody. Hey, beggars. I've missed you guys. Hey, who was that? Couch? I think that's who that was. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Evo. Hey, Tata. Hey, Dawn. Teresa. Mandy. What else we got? Lakita. Couch Potato. We missed you. Mandy. Vernita. Beggars. Barbara. RJ. PW. T Sizzle. Hey, everybody. Hey, Carrie. Hey everybody, if I missed, I'm sure I've missed lots of you guys, but definitely hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. If you're over on Facebook, hey Miss V, hey Hood Billy, hope that baby's doing good. Hey Shell, hey Phoenix, hey Candace, hey Lumpy Girl, hey Tooties, hey everybody. If you're over on Facebook, we always start out true crime because true crime is a trigger warning. In my opinion, all of the things that we go over on true crime could be a trigger warning. So we always start out playing two games of the mugshot game. After that's over, I will be turning Facebook off. So if you're over on Facebook, you just have to go out of that live and scroll to the top. Hey MW, hey Wildflower. You just have to scroll. Hey Dawn. Hey Nicholas. You just have to go to the top. Hey Believe of the page. Click that link and come on over. There's only two rules for true crime. One is a no malarkey. We don't talk about the nonsense over here. This is just true crime. If you want to join me for malarkey, come back a little bit later. But we would love to have you here. Hey Diane. Also, no spoiler alerts. If you see a case that you know for inside and out, or you know some details, wait until the videos are played, and then if you see something that may have been left out, then you can add that. But some people have not seen it. I saw that Tiffany pop up. I just haven't had a chance to look at it. Thank you so much. Hey, Outlaw Tree Bark. Hey, Love. Hey, the other Dawn. There's like 4 or 5 Dawns, I swear. Hey. And thank you, Tiffany. Hey, girl. All right, so we're going to get into the first game. Also, if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that we missed each other and hype the video up. You can hype up any of the lives once they're on replay and any videos in the video tab. Hey, Billy, been looking forward to this live all day. Love me some crew crime, true crime. Hey, Mick Mick. Hey. So yeah, if hit that thumbs up. Oh yeah, if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, you can hype the videos up. You only get 3 per week, so be mindful of that. Also, hit the thumbs up. If you're in the chat, you can hit that X on the right hand side and get there, or underneath the video, you should see a thumbs up. There's more. There's a Dawn Yost, a Dawn V, and I thought there was one or two more. Like I see a bunch of Dawns. Maybe it's on the other people's lives. I don't know. Hey, I thought you knew. Hey Val. Hey Moody. You made it tonight. I was wondering. Yes, spoilers are sometimes hard, and that's why I know some people get really upset. And if I say, "Hey, no spoilers," I'm not like yelling at you like, "Oh my god." I'm just letting you know. So please don't take it offensive. I'm not like I know it's hard to tell tone in text message, and I'm the worst because I'm a very dry texter. You can ask anybody who texts with me. Sometimes people are like, "Are you in a mood?" I'm like, "No, that's just how I text." Palm Beach Pete stuff. I don't think it's Epstein. I lived in Palm Beach for 7 years and just don't believe it. Oh, I haven't seen that. Yeah, a few Kimberlys as well. It's just me commenting too much. No, never comment too much. Never. All right, so let's start these two games. Hey Missy, so how you go? There's always hey Sherry, hey Queen. Queen nice. All right, so there's 5 people. I don't know why it's not letting me go, like why it doesn't go straight to this now. I don't know why, but anyway. This one we're going to match the alleged criminal. Now, everybody we show, they are innocent until proven guilty. Let me line this up a little bit better. Oh, that's not. Well, damn. All right, so we got One, two, three, four, and five. And then on this one, it is their match up the defendants with the respective weapons that they allegedly wielded during assaults or batteries. We have a curtain rod, an ice cream cone, a portable ironing board, a jar of pickles, and a thermos. So you would just say number one for the thermos, number four for the pickles. However, and then I'll just randomly pick. Of course, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So yeah, y'all let me know and I will punch them right in. Hey, hey, one for the ice cream. All right. Oh, wait. Is that what it said? Yeah, one for the ice cream. Three for the pickles. Two for the thermos. Okay. Ironing. Oh, you said ironing board for three? Well, let's do it like this. Let's move that. Oh, and then ironing board three. And then we'll do curtain rod for five. Let's see how that works. Oh, 1 out of 5. Well, there you have it. All right, we got the ironing board right. Well, that was a good one. I'm glad I switched it now. All right, 1 is the thermos, 2 is the pickles, 3 is the ironing board, 4 is the curtain rod, and 5 is the ice cream. There you have it. Old dude said, "Let me throw this ice cream cone at you." Like I said, at least we know that they were all done in assault and batteries. All right, this next one, we are matching the alleged defendant. Oh, she looks happy. Um, Let me move this. There we go. There we go. Now you can see. All right, we got 5 people. They are innocent until proven guilty. We have driving under the influence, driving with a suspended license, domestic battery, disorderly conduct, and trespassing. I feel like number 5 definitely disorderly conduct. Yeah, number 1 is having a hard time. Hard time. I'm gonna think of just because she's laughing, so I feel like that's where I feel like she should go. So that's my guess. Now, what y'all's? You on a lag? One oh, you think one is. Let's see what else. We've got driving under the influence, driving with suspended license, domestic battery, and trespassing. Y'all all think number one. See, I feel like she's mad. Like she would be like domestic battery or something. One is DUI. There we go. Oh, one is three is under the influence. Oh, you already got that one. Damn. One, driving under the influence. I've had a hamburger out the skillet thrown at me before. Um, I've had spaghetti thrown at me, sausage and biscuits with gravy thrown at me. I've had some stuff thrown at me for sure. Um, Dang. Two, suspended license. We got domestic battery and trespassing left. We've got number three and number four. Three and number four. Doo, 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 doo. You think one is domestic? That's what I was thinking too, Outlaw. Four is domestic and three is trespassing. Let's see. 3 out of 5, y'all. All right. One is trespassing. Two, driving with a suspended license. Three is the DUI. I know I saw some people say DUI. Four, domestic battery. And five, disorderly conduct. Look at us. 3 out of 5, y'all. We got 4 out of 10. I'll take it. All right, Facebook. That's where the road ends for you. Hopefully, you have found your way over. And if you haven't, there's a link on the page. It's real simple. Just click it and come on over. All right, let's get some of this stuff. Um, all right, let's just start at the top here. All right, there we go. We got a lot of stuff going on. Lots of stuff going on. All right, the older we get, the faster it goes. I know it does. I'm with you on that. All right, bye, Facebook. All right, now that we're alone. You got it wrong? I got 2 right. I knew I was pissed. She got charged for trespassing, Labella says. Yeah, she was pissed about something. That makes sense though, Labella. Like once you hear it, you're like, "Oh yeah, she's probably pissed." It was probably like somebody she knew or like her family. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, Miss V, we all suck, but it's not about winning. It's just we just have a good time. It's literally just I just started doing it because it's just like a little icebreaker before we get into all these stories, because you never know. Sometimes these stories can be heartbreaking. They can be just, there's all kinds of emotions that run with these stories. This story right here is insane.
But first, surrogate mothers can help bring a bundle of joy to couples who otherwise cannot have children on their own. However, the legal agreements between surrogates and biological parents can force both sides to make difficult choices. Meet a surrogate who made a decision that led her to Michigan when the parents suggested abortion. Crystal Kelly was thrilled when a couple hired her to be their surrogate and carry their baby.
She said, "Pray for a little girl. I want a little girl."
Ultrasounds halfway through Kelly's pregnancy showed the baby girl growing inside her had severe heart defects, a brain abnormality, and other medical problems.
They said she had a less than 25% chance of being able to have a normal life.
Inside Hartford Hospital in Connecticut, the parents, heartbroken, asked Kelly to have an abortion.
I refused. I couldn't do it. I was the one who was feeling her kick and squirm. I knew she had a fighting spirit, and I wanted to fight for her.
But the parents pleaded with Kelly to let their baby go.
They said that
You could see right here that she had a very pronounced
they didn't want to bring a baby into the world.
shit. You could tell right here that she had a very obvious cleft palate. You could see the lips, how they go up into the nostril here, how the, how the palate is disrupted here.
Pleaded with Kelly to let their baby go.
They said that they didn't want to bring a baby into the world only for that child to suffer. They said that I should try to be godlike and have mercy on the child and let her go.
The parents made the single mom with tight finances a $10,000 offer to end the pregnancy. Kelly countered with a $15,000 offer, and when that negotiation broke down, the parents said they would give the baby up.
I'm not going to let her become one of those forgotten, disabled kids that gets lost in the system.
So Kelly secretly left the state pregnant with their baby.
Packed up my van with everything that I could carry, threw my kids in the car, and we drove for 2 days to Michigan.
Under Michigan law, Kelly would be the baby's mother.
I can't tell you how many people told me that I was bad, that I was wrong.
Kelly gave birth in Michigan last June, and here's the baby today. She's 8 months old, and Kelly found a family to adopt her. Along with her cleft lip and palate and misshapen ear, she has severe brain and heart problems. She'll need several risky surgeries to survive, but in many other ways, she's just like other babies, smiling and grabbing for toys.
She's still a happy little girl who's going to bring joy into the lives of everyone who knows her. It gives me a lot of joy, and I know that every single thing that I did was worth it.
And we didn't release the names of the baby or her biological parents or even her new parents, of course, to protect their privacy.
Yeah, baby's got a long road ahead of her, but we heard the surrogate, Crystal Kelly, say that she wanted to give the baby a chance. But I know you mentioned there, and some people have been concerned when they've heard this story, that the family offered her $10,000 to abort the pregnancy, but then Crystal kind of upped the ante and said, for 15, maybe I would do it.
Yes, I mean, she is a single mom. She is on hard financial times, and so she said she entertained the idea for a while, but immediately felt bad after she did, is what she told a reporter.
And then she said she wouldn't do it after that. So.
Right, but there are specific contracts with surrogacy, and if we were reading right, I believe one of them specified if there were any birth defects, that the parents can make that request and that she was to agree.
But she did not.
She just didn't.
To Bucks County now. We're
Okay, so I know a lot of people are divided on this. Now, this surrogacy was not her, they did not use her eggs. So she was just the incubator, if you will, for the baby. The baby belonged to the family. So it was the wife's eggs, the husband's sperm. So it was their baby as far as DNA goes. Also, the parents, once they found out that she only had a 25% chance of survival, they wanted to abort the baby early on so that she would not have to suffer, would not have to go through all of these surgeries and things like that. And people are saying, well, if she didn't want to abort, hey, China, if she didn't want to abort, yeah, that makes it even more right. If she didn't want to abort, they would pay her money, and then she counter offered. So I feel like if she really was against abortion, one, it's part of the contract. It's part of the contract that if something were to come up, the parents, meaning the people who it's their baby genetically, would be able to say what they wanted to do. And she's not keeping the baby. Obviously, we heard she put the baby up for adoption. But just imagine, you pay for a surrogacy, you pay for all this stuff because obviously they had to pay to get the, embryo put into the mom and things like that. Right, madam, she should have never agreed to be a surrogate if she couldn't, because that's their child, their choice. I understand it's in her body, but I feel like that's their DNA, their genetics. And now those parents have to live with the fact that they went through this whole process, and now they have a child that is theirs out there in the world somewhere, that is now adopted, that is their DNA, that if they have kids one day will be their children's sibling. I mean, I think it makes, and I understand where people say, save the babies no matter what and all this, but you really have to look at the bigger picture of things. It depends on the state, PW. Right, couch potato. That's when she chose to give up someone else's child. She should have advised by the contract. If she couldn't, then she shouldn't have been a surrogate. Plus, she countered. So to me, it was about money. Exactly, Jill. And I'm wondering, like, I don't know how that works, but I'm wondering if because you can't obviously sell a baby, but I wonder if she was compensated by the adoptive family for medical bills, things like that. Um, yeah, madams, I just, and I understand it's a child, um, but again, think, even if you think about the child's quality of life, um, the child's quality of life, obviously, she's gonna have to endure surgery after surgery after surgery, um, and has a lot of, issues. It's definitely a sad one, and one for more conversation. Um, they should have sued her into what they wanted done with her child. 25% survival rate for a baby is low. Right, right. Yeah, it's a very sad one. Very sad one. All right, let's go on to this one.
A mother is facing charges for allegedly abusing a young child at a local Walmart. And we want to warn you, some of the details in this case can be disturbing. Our Joanne Pileggi spoke with the officer who responded to the scene.
Well, as any parent knows, kids can be difficult when you take them shopping, but police say a Bucks County mom crossed the line to reprimand her child. Police here in Tullytown giving Fox 29 an exclusive and detailed account of what happened.
We didn't know how long the kid had been, unconscious or unresponsive at that point, so we knew that it was a serious situation.
Officer John Creighton got the call and headed to the Walmart at this Levittown shopping center. A witness had called 911, describing a mother screaming at her two small children and repeatedly tossing one in a shopping cart.
One of the kids was attached to like a backpack leash and was just like kind of laying on the ground. And the mom seemed to be under some distress trying to calm the kids down and was dragging the kid around. When my body came on, I got in the store.
Oh, no, you got in the store. Okay.
Yeah, because I was talking to the witness.
Officer Creighton located the mother and two small children.
I asked her what was going on. She said that the kid was a little out of control. She couldn't get him to stop crying, and then he just fell asleep.
Trying to de-escalate the situation, he accompanied the woman and children to the front of the store when he noticed the young boy wasn't moving at all.
And I could see that it was a little bit more than he was asleep. So I called for medics to expedite to my location. Medics showed up and attempted to wake the kid up, and then they determined that he needed immediate medical attention. So we took him over to St. Mary's.
After taking reports from witnesses and confirming the child's head injuries, police arrested the mother, 28-year-old Samantha Fletcher, who'd been living in a shelter with her twins. Child Protective Services were called, and sadly, Officer Creighton says,
in my professional opinion, it didn't seem to be very many people that were interested in coming to help out the children.
Fletcher remains locked up on child abuse and aggravated assault charges, while social workers are tasked with making sure the children are safe. Officer Creighton says cases like this are difficult to watch.
I would like to think that the people that are involved would do their best to take care of them.
When the little boy was released from the hospital, police took him and his twin sister to a relative's home. We had hoped to share the police body cam video with you, but police say they'll be using it as evidence in this case. In Tullytown, I'm Joanne Pileggi, Fox 29 News.
And
good evening to you, friends, on this Monday. Thank you for joining us here at 6. I'm Greg Merriweather.
And I'm Elizabeth Vowell. A judge today ordered Louisiana State Police to hand over surveillance videos to the WAFB team that show a trooper slapping a handcuffed inmate.
So we start with the videos, what they show, and exactly why State Police hoped you would never see it and that the video would never make it to our chief investigator, Chris Nakamoto. Chris is here. He's got the first of 2 reports. Chris, good evening. What can you tell us?
Good evening, Greg and Liz. The incident landed a state trooper in very hot water 4 years ago, but later on, when Colonel Robert Hodges took over as state police colonel, the trooper's discipline got wiped off his record. And with that, some at state police hoped it would also wipe away the public's chance of ever seeing what actually happened. The man in the red shirt, handcuffed in the front of his body, is a suspect who just crashed his car and was arrested for DWI in Avoyelles Parish near Alexandria, Louisiana. Standing in front of him is Master Trooper Matthew Clare, the man who made the arrest. To the right of the trooper is a Sheriff's Department lieutenant who works at the jail. Watch now as Trooper Clare is about to do something that would turn this routine night into a full-fledged state police investigation.
Well, he had me in the jail, and he was mad because I was talking to him, and he just hauled off and slapped me while I was in handcuffs.
In the moments leading up to the open-handed slap, the suspect is clearly unhappy, but we cannot hear what he's saying to Trooper Clare since the videos are from overhead jail surveillance cameras with no sound. When a 5-member state police review board watched the videos, only 2 of the 5 deemed the slap to be excessive force, meaning the final decision rested with Colonel Lamar Davis, who headed up state police at the time. Davis watched the videos and found it was indeed excessive and suspended Trooper Clare for 40 hours without pay. But that discipline was wiped out when Clare appealed, citing that state police had missed a required 14-day window to start their investigation. Then, when Colonel Robert Hodges took over at LSP, Clare had his punishment reduced to a non-disciplinary letter of counseling, along with back pay. Here's Clare in his own words 4 years ago, explaining his use of force during an interview with Internal Affairs.
The purpose of using that force was not only to protect myself or Lieutenant Overby, but to stop the threat.
Clare had handcuffed the man behind his back, but jail staff moved the handcuffs to the front as he was being booked into the Avoyelles Parish Detention Center.
I couldn't do nothing. I was in handcuffs. I couldn't do him nothing.
Trooper Clare told investigators the trouble all started as he and an arrestee were heading to do a breathalyzer, which he later refused to take.
Well, he had become uncooperative during the trip to the jail, or not to the jail, but to Marshville PD. Okay. He began complaining of his hands, the handcuffs, and it kept on. He made remarks about, well, I don't think you can wear these handcuffs, and he just kept saying he wasn't a criminal.
The Avoyelles deputy who witnessed the slap is Lieutenant Cliff Overby. During his interview with state police, Overby never said he felt threatened and thought the trooper's actions were justified. He did say, however, he thought using a gas canister would have been a better option. Trooper Clare told investigators he definitely felt threatened, keeping in mind that an inmate handcuffed in the front could have physically attacked him.
And asked him what his correct address was so I could make sure that I had that information correct on the paperwork. And he said, I don't know. He said, put heaven. And he said, that's why I'm going to be heaven. He said, you're going to be there working my fields. And then a little while later, he said, I made comments about you and just the police profession in general. You need to repent. And I didn't take that as he was expecting the next coming of Christ. I took that in a threatening manner.
How is he in danger and I'm in handcuffs in the jailhouse?
He's telling me that I'm gonna regret this. That I need to tell me I'm a bad policeman. That I think he made comments on me being racist, just really just running me down, just being belligerent. And that's when he threatened that he would whip my and he made threats that when he saw he was going to whip my he had started towards me. And he came at me more aggressively than he had before. And it was more to his stride, and it was just an aggressive stride towards me, and it was just threatening, and it was just a look about him. It was just, I took it as a threat that now he's going to strike me.
We requested an interview with Colonel Robert Hodges about this situation. We did not hear back, but Hodges told the men and women of the department today they believe their trooper was a victim of assault and has a right to privacy. We put his full statement on WAFB.com. As for the suspect, he entered a guilty plea to DWI and simple assault because of his threatening words. A judge suspended his sentence and placed him on probation. For the WAFB.
So the inmate got simple assault for his words. But the cop or the CO or whatever he was, he's a policeman, I guess, Louisiana State Police or whatever. So he got simple assault for his words, but the cop got a letter of whatever it was, letter of counsel, and they gave him 40 hours suspended, no pay. But then once the new guy came in, he changed it and made it just a letter of counsel and then gave him back pay for the 40 hours that he didn't get paid for. But yet the man who got slapped gets charged. Make it make sense. That's crazy. And what the hell? He's like, oh, he was going to strike me. He was in handcuffs. As long as you stay away from him, far enough away from him, he can't headbutt you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he going to do? And what the hell was that about a gas can? A gas can would have been better? What? Right, Jill, it's insane. No, madams, they said that they don't have proof of what he said because the cameras in the jail did not record audio. So it's basically his word against the two other men that were there. Because the camera only shows what happened, not what they were saying.
FBI team, I'm Chris Nakamoto. Liz, Greg?
All right, Chris, thank you.
More than 60 wanted criminals caught up in the Dallas Police Department's aggressive action to get the worst of the worst. Operation Clean Sweep with the U.S. Marshals has been ongoing for the last month. Today, the police chief broke down the numbers, and Fox 4's Sean Rabb is in the newsroom with the story. Sean.
Yeah, and 61 total arrests, 2 of those hiding in North Texas, wanted for capital murder in Florida. A joint operation with the U.S. Marshals and the North Texas Fugitive Task Force with officers from Mesquite, Garland, the Dallas Sheriff, and Dallas Police Department.
We are the most proactive police department in the United States. We're going to continue to show that by going out, not just sitting back, answering calls, but going out and getting bad people off the street that have these warrants.
These are the faces of fugitive felons served arrest warrants during Operation Clean Sweep, a joint operation between Dallas Police and the U.S. Marshals, robbing businesses and people at gunpoint. Big business in North Texas.
Our figures here produced in the Northern District of Texas account for about 4% of our national workload when it comes to robbery cases. 70% of North Texas's arrests for robbery were cases that originated right out of DFW.
Operation Clean Sweep focused on robberies. 61 people arrested, 123 cases or warrants cleared, including capital murder fugitives.
The CRTs.
Dallas Police Sergeant Sheldon Smith, a task force team leader.
We are relentless in our search to apprehend the most violent criminals in the city of Dallas. We will not stop until we put them in jail. But in putting them in jail, we do it with dignity, and we do it with respect.
Many arrested, not new to this. Camarion White, with a past criminal history, was wanted for 6 new offenses. Pedro Romero Marquez and Martha Romero Rodriguez had multiple warrants in Dallas and Mesquite. Laquita Stewart has a lengthy history with police. 19 times she's been arrested for violent crimes. Jaden De Jesus and Trayvon Quinones on the run from Florida for capital murder, arrested by the task force in Kaufman County.
We're looking at those who needs to be off the street. Look, there's a lot of warrants out there in the city, but we're prioritizing making sure we get the ones that need to be off the street first. Like we talked earlier, the ones who has the more likely chance of reoffending based off of their past history.
Operation Clean Sweep ran February 2nd through March 12th. As warrants were being worked and arrests made, DPD says individual robberies went down almost 18% in that time period, business robberies dropping by over 35%. The chief says a small number of criminals committing a majority of crime. That number even smaller now with these arrests.
An Oakhurst rental property owner is in custody, suspected of spying.
Was that her face or just a bad pic? I would assume that's her face. I don't know if that's what police did. They didn't go into that. So, but they did, have to arrest them. So I'm sure some of them fled or whatever. This shit right here is creepy as hell.
An Oakhurst rental property owner is in custody, suspected of spying on his own guests. The Madera County Sheriff's Office says 44-year-old Christian Parmalee Edwards was secretly recording women and children who were staying at his rental property. Officers also say Edwards was in possession of thousands of files of child sex abuse material. Action News reporter Vincent Camarillo is live in studio tonight with the disturbing details and reaction from neighbors. Vincent?
Margot, this brazen violation of privacy was done seemingly without fear of consequence. Investigators telling us today that rather than employing hidden cameras or any type of surveillance system, Edwards recorded these guests himself from right outside the property. He now faces several felony charges.
An Oakhurst rental homeowner is behind bars, accused of turning family vacations into nightmares, recording his guests during their most private moments. Shocked neighbors want him to stay away.
I really hope they don't let him out, and I really hope that because right now things are safe and we didn't even know we were in danger.
The Madera County Sheriff's Office announcing Monday the arrest of 44-year-old Christian Parmalee Edwards, booked on multiple felony charges related to the possession and distribution of child sex abuse material and invasion of privacy. The Sheriff's Office initially received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, leading to an investigation into Edwards' devices. One neighbor, Amy Gray, telling us she and her children nearly found themselves in Edwards' house of horrors.
He even offered for me to even move in over there at one point and pay him rent.
I'm sure he did have plans for my friends and her kids.
Detectives say their initial investigation uncovered over 4,000 digital images of child sexual abuse material, but they say that was only the beginning of his predatory practices.
When they seized his devices at the home, they began uncovering videos of children and women being filmed in places where they should have had their privacy.
Edwards had been renting this Oakhurst home to guests since 2023, just a mile away from Yosemite High School. And Action News learning Monday the recording wasn't done through hidden cameras, but from just feet away.
What detectives have found so far was that he was actually on site, recording through cracks in the blinds, in little private areas.
Now, detectives with the Madera County Sheriff's Office say Edwards used several different platforms to rent the property, and they plan on reaching out to any potential victims. Anyone who might have rented the property between 2023 to now is urged to contact investigators.
Leading us off tonight, a frightening sight. A man is caught on camera. You see him here, banging on doors, frantic.
I would feel so bad, but also as a, someone who lives alone most of the time I'm here by myself with just my dog. I wouldn't answer this door either. This story brings me, it's like, damn. I feel bad, but I wouldn't have answered the door either. I mean, look at this guy. Look how he's knocking on the door.
Frightening sight. A man is caught on camera. You see him here, banging on doors, frantically begging for help after being assaulted. Hello, everybody. I'm Len Cannon.
Good early evening to you. I'm Mia Gradney. That man wound up being shot by a homeowner just minutes later.
Happened just after midnight along Ingomar Way. That's in Southwest Houston. Jason Miles joins us live with more details on this case. Jason?
Hey there, yes, several people who live on this street got a very early wake-up call thanks to that man banging on their door and begging for help. He was later shot at the house you see behind me. In this Ring doorbell camera video shared with KHOU 11,
help me please, help me please, call 911. Please.
A bloodied man whose face we're blurring for now repeatedly knocks on an unsuspecting family's front door.
We hear someone banging on our door, like banging.
Melissa Molina was inside and never considered opening the door.
We'll call 911. We'll call 911.
Call 911, please.
That's her telling the man she'll call police.
He's asking for help. He's asking to let us, let him in. But, I have my kid, I have the dog, we're not going to do that. So I'm like, we'll call 911,
HPD says a second man seen and heard in the video may be a family member who assaulted him.
He stole. Come on. I'm bleeding.
Hey.
He lying. He busted me in my head. Come on, bro. Please.
The camera eventually captures both men running away, and police say the one begging for help got shot minutes later after barging into one of several homes he appears to have approached.
The resident saw him at the door. At that point, he kicked the door in, forced his way in, at which time the homeowner shot him multiple times.
No one at the home answered the door today, and so far, no charges have been filed. Do you blame your other neighbor for shooting him?
Not necessarily. I mean, he did go into the home. You never know if that was like a tactic to break in and rob him.
At last check,
Open the door, please.
the man was in stable condition at the hospital as police search for the possible relative who initially assaulted him. And this afternoon, HPD told me that family member is likely the man's brother. Meantime, they say the woman who shared the video with me did the right thing by staying inside behind a locked door and calling 911. Reporting from the far southwest side, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
See, that's what I'm saying. So what happened was his brother allegedly assaulted him and was coming after him. So he was trying to get into somebody to let him in because he was scared. So eventually he went door to door to door. Nobody would let him in. So he ended up forcing his way in. And when the homeowner saw somebody forcing their way in, he said, not today. Like, I'm going to pew pew and ask questions later type shit. Yeah, it's so hard to trust people, but I wouldn't have answered. I would have called 911, obviously. But I wouldn't have answered the door because you just never fucking know with people. Like, there's people out there that would literally be like, hit me in the face so I can act like I'm hurt. Like, and I know that sounds awful and sounds jaded, but it's just the truth of things. Like, it could have been a tactic to get into your house and then, turn it on you. But that's just all. I can only imagine how scared he was, running and trying to get in people's houses. And on the flip side, how scared they were.
Certainly a lot happening there for those folks. Jason Miles, thank you.
Hey, little birdie.
Well, a couple of school employees in Macomb County in some serious trouble tonight, appearing to be engaged in some X-rated activities on a school bus. Fox News' Jessica Dupek is here, and this all got found out because of some cell phone video, Jessica.
Yeah, we had to watch that raw cell phone video a few times. And Roop, I was really hoping that maybe they were just cleaning something off of the seats. But upon further review, it really doesn't look like it. Now, for everyone's sake, we did use the blur tool pretty heavy here tonight. While we can't show you that, we did talk to the woman, the really stunned mom that witnessed this all. Ever seen anything like this?
In movies.
Yeah, the X-rated kind. You look in the bus, what do you see?
An intense motion. At first, I thought it was just cleaning the seats, but the motion just continued.
She thought it was cleaning the seats. I'm dead. You could see, even in the blurred video, you could see that intense motion she was talking about, because you could see this white area right here, and you could see the wiping motion as if someone was cleaning the seats.
And at first, I thought it was just cleaning the seats, but the motion just continued.
When the bus is a-rockin', don't come knocking.
I mean, I'm an adult, so.
These are all recent. All these reports have happened in the last 5 days. Some of them more recent than others, but yeah, they're recent.
Kind of put two and two together.
The wheels on the bus go round and round and apparently up and down.
I grabbed that just to have proof that what I'm seeing is what I'm seeing.
We'll call this mom Katie. She was at the Chesterfield Township Walmart this week when she saw what appears to be two school employees engaged in some extracurricular activities. I just can't believe they weren't trying to hide behind some bushes or something. It was boom.
No, it was blatantly in the front part.
My thing is, why weren't they in the back of the bus? In between seats or something? They were legit, in the front. They had to have some kind of maybe thing about that, because they were legit. That's in a big ass window, in the red district. You know how big a windshield is on a school bus? And it's like a fishbowl. There's no tint to it. They're literally right in the front of that shit. They weren't trying to hide that shit. And at Walmart in the parking lot.
A little lesson on the birds and the bees over lunch. Katie knew she had to report it to Macomb Intermediate School District.
It's very disturbing.
Thankfully, no kids.
Well, I think that they couldn't go home because it was 2 school employees. I would assume, and this is total speculation, but I would assume they work together on the bus and probably have wives or boyfriends, girlfriends, things like that. So they can't go home. But that's just my assumption.
That's just, it's very disturbing.
Thankfully, no kids were on the bus, and the district says the 2 employees were put on leave, now being investigated for potential, quote, professional misconduct.
What if my kids rode that bus? I wouldn't be aware of what's going on that bus.
Yeah, all of that shock and awe aside, the district says they are taking this investigation very seriously. They added in a statement out to families that they do plan to make sure all school-related spaces are safe for the kids. Reporting live in the newsroom, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
That's so disturbing. It's taxpayers' money. That's a safe place for kids to feel like they have a clean place to sit and be safe in that area. Any indication that this may have happened before, or they think this is an isolated incident?
It's a really good question, but you look at it, Roop, I mean, they were parked right in the middle of Walmart. We were out there today. It's, of course, a busy Walmart. They definitely didn't have any shame, so you can look at it as maybe this wasn't a first time, but that would, of course, be speculation. Thankfully, though, no kids were on the bus.
Yeah, that is the best part of all. Jessica Dupnack for us live tonight. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm Roop Raj. We begin with a Fox 2 exclusive. A teenage girl held captive for 10 days. Authorities say she left her Detroit home on her own and ended up with an accused predator. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is in studio with how she got away. Jess.
Well, Roop, according to police, it was actually all of the media coverage and Detroit police listing her as a missing person that finally rattled this guy loose enough to let her go. While she ended up with the 38-year-old on her own, it's unclear exactly how, because according to police, the 2 were strangers. Boarded up windows, no knobs on the doors inside. A teen girl held captive in filth here on Detroit's west side, allegedly by 38-year-old Rennell Agee.
He held her down. She tried to stop him. He held her arms back, and he continued to assault her. She was screaming, and he did not stop.
According to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, it went on for 5 of the 10 days she was with him this month.
She couldn't leave because the windows were boarded up and there were no doorknobs on the door.
Knives by his bedside. Agee allegedly threatened to hurt her family into keeping her quiet until he got spooked.
The defendant finally let her leave when he saw that she was posted as a missing person on social media.
Agee was already out on just a personal bond for allegedly recently pointing a gun at his wife's head and threatening to, quote, blow her head off. He has a history of assaultive convictions and diagnosed mental illness, denying it all in court.
It's not true, Your Honor. Okay, all right.
When the missing teen girl returned home this month, the case was far from over for Detroit Police Major Crimes Unit.
We're going to investigate and follow any and all leads that are going to get us to a point where we can file charges.
In this case, a horror story, but Commander Rebecca McKay says all missing children's stories are vetted thoroughly.
I would warn anybody out there who decides they want to take in one of these young runaways that we're probably going to figure out who you are and what's been happening.
So I want to underscore one point from the story there. Rennell Agee, the suspect in this case, he was on a personal bond, out on a personal bond on tether at this home on the west side when this allegedly all happened, when this girl was held captive for 10 days. So he was already in a lot of trouble with the law. Since then, the judge making, I would assume, is the right decision in this case with 11 felonies, remanding him to custody, of course, innocent until proven guilty as this case moves forward.
Yeah, but the bond question and issue has always been something that's come up so often about whether there's appropriate bond for dangerous people out there.
Yeah, and he has a history, I think 3 other assaultive crimes in the past. Now those were convictions, and it's hard. Sometimes it lays flat on a piece of paper in front of the judge or magistrate, and they don't necessarily know the ins and outs. But in this case, I think it was the right decision, and we're just glad that little girl is safe tonight.
I think there's a lot of moms and dads who agree with you out there that it was the right decision. Jessica Dupnack for us live tonight. Thank you.
A man accused of murdering a teenager in downtown Melbourne claims additional evidence proves he only opened fire in self-defense.
Stefan DeJuiced was back in court today at the Brevard Justice Center in Vieira, and Channel 9's Sabrina Majori
I didn't hear her gag if she did.
was also there, and she reports he even claimed he was the victim of a murder plot.
DeJuice's attorneys argued he was threatened multiple times while in jail and was threatened on the day of the shooting, too. The judge didn't rule on the merits of that argument, but did say any evidence of that and additional surveillance video needed to be preserved. Prosecutors point to this surveillance video as a key piece of evidence in the case against Stefan DeJuiced. He's charged with second-degree murder for shooting 19-year-old Nathaniel Jennings in downtown Melbourne back in May. Investigators say DeJuiced pulled out his handgun and fired 8 times after an altercation outside of downtown bars. We stopped the video before the first shots were fired, but prosecutors say the fight beforehand never got physical and say DeJuiced continued shooting even as Jennings ran away.
Does the victim ever make physical contact with the defendant, Mr. DeJuiced? Does he ever hit him?
He does not.
But the defense argues video from other downtown Melbourne surveillance cameras will help prove DeJuiced shot in self-defense. He told police back in May the victim threatened him and put him in a bear hug.
I'm also going to order that Melbourne PD preserve any video evidence that they may have from the date of the incident.
The defense also claiming friends of the victim were actively plotting to hurt or kill DeJuiced while in jail as an act of retaliation for the shooting. The state attorney's office did tell us DeJuiced was being held in the Volusia County Jail, not the Brevard County Jail, for his own safety. In the meantime, it's now on the defense to go ahead and sort through whatever video might be useful in their self-defense case that's now been preserved. At a later date, the judge would then go ahead and rule whether or not that could be acceptable in a trial. Reporting in Brevard County, I'm Sabrina Majore.
How did she survive? The flight attendant thrown
This is crazy.
300 feet from the Air Canada plane is confounding everyone today. Solange Tremblay was catapulted onto the tarmac. She was found still strapped in the jump seat. Her only injury, a fractured leg. Her daughter today calling her survival a complete miracle. The flight attendant was sitting here, just behind the pilots in the jump seat. And that seat, aviation experts say, is likely what saved her life. Here's Victoria Ricagno.
The jump seat is where the flight attendant sits, facing the passengers. It has a 4-point shoulder harness, so you're locked in. But this is no ordinary seat. It's designed so the flight attendant has the best possible chance of survival in the event of a crash, so they can help passengers escape.
You've got 2 torso straps hooking into a centered buckle that goes around the lap belt. And that's going to significantly restrict the body from moving and to counter any forces that may happen during an accident. And that really protects the flight attendant.
Meanwhile, long lines continue to plague airports across the nation.
Yeah, it's bad.
Even the NTSB investigators were impacted by the long lines as they rushed here to the LaGuardia Airport crash site.
Our air traffic control specialist, who was in line with TSA for 3 hours until we called in Houston to beg to see if we can get her through so we can get her here.
At a briefing today, the NTSB said there were only 2 air traffic controllers on duty in the control tower at LaGuardia when the collision happened.
I would caution pointing fingers at controllers. We rarely, if ever, investigate a major accident where it was one failure. So when something goes wrong, that means many, many things went wrong.
Okay, let me see it because I don't know what's coming next. Oh yeah, it is coming next. Look at me jumping the gun, thinking I got it mixed up. I'm pretty sure it is coming next. My bad, y'all. My bad.
We begin tonight here with that horrific crash at LaGuardia Airport, the deadly collision on the runway, an Air Canada Express passenger jet slamming into a fire truck. That fire truck had been given the okay to cross the runway. Late today, ABC News obtaining this chilling video here showing the moment that passenger jet crashed into the truck on the runway, moments after touching down. And tonight, audio from the air traffic control tower suggesting a controller in those final seconds urgently tried to then get that truck to stop. He could be heard saying stop over and over again. The 2 pilots killed, a flight attendant reportedly still strapped into the jump seat, ejected onto the runway. More than 40 passengers rushed to the hospital. The 2 firefighters in that truck surviving, raced to the hospital too with broken bones. Tonight, the NTSB on the scene. Preliminary data showing the plane was going up to 105 miles per hour just before impact. With the pilots dead and the flight attendant ejected from the plane, passengers turning to one another to help each other, describing the chaos and escaping down that wing. ABC's Gio Benitez leading us off tonight from LaGuardia Airport.
Tonight, horrifying surveillance footage posted online shows the moment an Air Canada Express jet slammed into a fire truck as it crossed the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport. The NTSB now on the scene, poring over the mangled wreckage of the first deadly crash at LaGuardia in more than 30 years. It happened at around 11:40 p.m. after authorities say air traffic controllers granted a Port Authority fire truck permission to cross runway 4 to respond to a separate incident, a United Airlines plane reporting an odor in the cabin. Listen to Truck 1 talking with the tower.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company crossing 4 at Delta.
But at that very moment, Air Canada Express Flight 8646 from Montreal was coming in for a landing on that very same runway. Listen to the controller trying to tell the truck to stop.
Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop.
But it was too late, as that surveillance video posted to X shows. There was no time for the plane to stop or abort the landing. Preliminary data from Flight Radar 24 shows that the plane was traveling between 93 and 105 miles an hour at the moment of impact.
We were honestly sleeping and then landing, and then all of a sudden, boom, woke up in shock.
We were a couple rows behind first class, and it was everything at the front of the plane was pretty messed up.
Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle there. Just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Passenger Jack Cabot shooting these video clips as passengers climb down off the wings. And in this short selfie video, you can see the moment the nose of the plane tipped upward. Watch again closely as the passengers move to the rear of the cabin to escape. One flight attendant was reportedly found outside the plane, alive and still strapped in their jump seat. Authorities confirming the pilot and co-pilot did not survive.
I want to extend my sympathies to the families of the 2 pilots. These were 2 young men at the start of their careers.
41 of the 72 passengers were taken to area hospitals, and inside that fire truck, 2 Port Authority officers surviving as well, taken to the hospital with broken bones. Listen to the air traffic controller speaking with a Frontier pilot who witnessed the collision, telling that pilot, "I messed up."
That wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, I know I was here. I tried to reach out to my staff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier. I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
This was a very busy night with a lot going on. The weather was bad. There was an emergency aircraft that the fire crew was trying to get to. It's not hard to see how a mistake could have been made.
And amid a nationwide shortage of air traffic controllers, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy addressing reports that there was only one controller in the tower at the time of the crash.
I've heard the rumor that there was only one controller in the tower, and that's not accurate.
So let's bring in Gio Benitez with us live tonight from LaGuardia. And Gio, you reported there that flight attendant ejected from the plane,
when they
still strapped into their seat. The 2 pilots killed. And you think about all those passengers on board who had to work together to get themselves off the plane.
Yeah, David, they were essentially on their own. These passengers trying to figure out how to get off the plane, how to open those doors on their own. But David, we saw a real miracle here with that flight attendant who was ejected. Apparently, we're told she's going to be okay.
That is good news. We're thinking about the families of those pilots and everyone on board, and the 2 firefighters as well in that truck. What a horrific scene, Gio. Thank you.
And we begin with breaking news out of Fayette County. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Shumway.
This is
Barry
crazy.
Pintar is off.
This is nuts to have. This is a story where 2 teachers, this is in Pennsylvania, 2 teachers, 1 week, same school, both charged.
A second teacher at the Laurel Highlands High School is now facing charges for inappropriate behavior with.
If you guys remember, one of the very first true crimes that I did was about two air traffic controllers, and I talked about how being an air traffic controller is one of, like, I think it's ranked on, like, the people that do air traffic control, depression, suicide, all kinds of stuff. You wouldn't imagine, but it is a very, I guess, um, psychological thing to be an air traffic controller or in the tower type thing, whatever they call them. And that was one of my first ones. If you guys remember, it was two guys that worked together in one of the towers, and he fell in love with the guy. The guy was married, and he ended up taking them all out. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was like probably my second or third true crime thing ever. But yeah, the job is like I can only imagine that he will probably quit. Yeah, very stressful. Yeah, it's like up there on the stress level too. Yep. Yeah, they look like they were in on it together. I agree with that, Jill.
The Laurel Highlands High School is now facing charges for inappropriate behavior with a student. This comes just days after another teacher's arrest for similar allegations. Shelley Bortz is live outside the magistrate's office this noon with what happens there now and moving forward. Shelley.
Well, Daniel Cervone just left the magistrate's office here in North Union Township moments ago after being formally arraigned, as you said, on serious charges for allegedly engaging in inappropriate sexual conduct with a student. Now, Cervone was escorted from Laurel Highlands High School this morning in handcuffs. This is the second teacher arrested in less than a week at the same school, leaving parents and the community demanding answers about student safety and oversight. Now, this is the first look at Cervone as he walks into the magistrate here for his formal arraignment. He is facing charges including institutional sexual assault, corruption of minors, and unlawful contact with a minor. Now, state police say they received a report regarding inappropriate contact between an adult and a minor. An investigation was initiated, which led to the identification of Cervone, Laurel Highlands High School junior ROTC instructor. Now, authorities say this is, again, the second teacher arrested in less than a week for similar allegations. Now, this leaves parents, students, and the community shaken, demanding answers and questioning what safeguards are in place at that high school to protect the students. Now, the school district did issue a statement. They say they are fully cooperating with authorities and taking steps to ensure student safety. Now, we're going to continue to follow this case today, and we will bring you the very latest on KDKA TV News starting today.
Yeah, to me, there's two teachers. They both get charged within the same week. I feel like 100% that they were in on it together. Okay, switching gears a little bit, but still true crime case. I don't know why I keep thinking they're in the wrong order.
But for now, reporting live in North Union Township, Shelley Bortz, KDKA TV News.
You guys, we need to talk about Love Island Huda because there's a situation going on between her and her boyfriend, Louie's ex-girlfriend / baby mama. Louie's ex filed a restraining order against Huda, and all of these text messages are coming out about what Huda said to Louie when they were, I guess, fighting. It escalated to a very scary level, but Louie...
Okay, so Huda is off Love is Blind. Louie is also a reality star. He did, I think it was Too Hot to Handle and Perfect Match. He may have done other ones too, but this stuff has come out about her. If you don't know,
and Huda still seem to be together, and Huda is claiming that what is being said about her is not true. So we are going to get into everything that's being said right now. Now, you guys probably know Huda from Love Island, where she became super talked about because of all the messy drama with Jeremiah and then Chris. Well, now she is the center of a situation that has gone way beyond reality TV chaos, because what started as relationship drama has now escalated into something involving legal action, serious allegations, and even a temporary restraining order that's already been granted. And I'm not gonna lie, the more details that come out, the more intense and honestly unsettling this whole situation is getting. So following her time on Love Island, Huda started to date Too Hot to Handle star Louis Russell, who also has a child from a previous relationship, and their relationship quickly became a hot topic online, but not always for the best reasons, because not long after they got together, they both actually faced major backlash tied to a situation involving Huda's Love Island co-star Alandria. While on a live stream, Huda and Louis had people calling in, and one viewer called in and called Alandria a racial slur. Both Huda and Louis ended the call, started laughing, and people were not happy with their reaction.
Hello?
That's fucked up.
Whoa.
That's fucked up. That's literally her castmate, and he's in the reality TV world, so they could work together at some point. And it's racist as hell. Like the fact that you, one, who did that? Huda. I mean, obviously things came out after Love Island, but that was your girl, And then it sounded like a kid almost that called and said Alandria is a N word. And the fact that they have this reaction is just mind blowing. Like, what are you doing?
Whoa. Hey.
Yo, I turned that shit off.
Hey.
Yo, what the fuck did they say? They said about
Huda lost brand deals over this. People were just calling them out, and they started to lay rather low. Here and there, Huda started to tease that she was working on music.
It's already sounding amazing.
I agree.
You got it. Oh, I didn't even let it boil.
But I just feel like she hasn't been on social media in the same way ever since that situation. So she's already dealt with a lot of negative attention before, but now fast forward to today and things have escalated into something way more serious. According to recent reports, Louis Russell's ex Nicole filed for a temporary restraining order against Huda in California, and a judge granted it. The order reportedly requires Huda to stay 100 yards away from Nicole and Nicole's son until an April court date. And of course, the internet immediately started spiraling because once people heard restraining order, everyone had questions. They wanted to know what happened and how things escalated this far. Now, before we get into all of this, I do want to be super clear that these are allegations, and Huda is saying that what is being said about her is not true, but I have seen the court documents of this restraining order and what Nicole had to handwrite from her account of the situation. So while Huda might be saying that things are not true, Nicole is very much saying that she needed this restraining order. Now, when news first broke about all of this, TMZ wrote, Nicole Oliveira, the mother of Louis Russell's child, tells TMZ the situation escalated back on February 21st around 1:30 a.m. when she claims Huda showed up uninvited to her home. According to Nicole, Huda allegedly took an Uber to Nicole's LA apartment where she lives with her son and trespassed by forcing her way into the building, which Nicole says was captured on surveillance video. She insists she never gave Huda access, either verbal or physically. Nicole claims Huda had been sending alarming messages for hours leading up to the incident, allegedly threatening to harm herself and saying she would not be here tomorrow after landing at LAX earlier that day. She tells us Huda later confronted Louis and demanded he swear on their son's life that he'd never leave her. Nicole tells us, I never wanted my son in the public eye, especially involving anything negative. Nicole says the entire situation had nothing to do with her or her son, and she's now focused solely on protecting her child, which is why she's taking legal action. She adds she doesn't want drama, a response, or even an apology, just privacy and safety for her family. Still, Nicole says she remains empathetic, adding this is an extremely unfortunate situation for everybody involved, while emphasizing her son's safety will always come first. Nicole says, I pray for her mental health. Now, in the legal documents filed by Nicole when requesting the restraining order, she says specifically, and this is straight from the LA court documents, she said on February 20th, 2026, Huda Mustafa landed at LAX and threatened to jump off buildings, swearing on her daughter's life that she was going to herself. After about 12 hours of terrifying and extremely mentally unstable threats against her daughter, and my son's lives, she Ubered to where my son and I live, and she broke into the building uninvited, obviously. Now, one of the questions on the document is, were you harmed or injured because of the harassment? And she said, mentally, emotionally in fear for my son and my own safety. And she was also asked, has this person harassed you other times? And she said, via messages on social media. Now, in regard to the temporary restraining order, she said, my son's father has informed her that her actions have called for a restraining order. And Reality Receipts podcast host Storytime with Ricky actually leaked a series of messages allegedly sent between Huda and Louis. These messages are extremely alarming and allegedly show Huda sending photos of herself on a rooftop, then saying that she's going to Louis' baby mama's apartment, then accusing him of cheating on her at one point. Then she's seen arriving at the building, sending a photo of herself outside, and then we see her in the stairwell saying that she will knock on all the doors because she didn't know exactly which one it was. And then there's also texts that allegedly show Louis not responding to Huda, and she is allegedly losing it on him because of it, saying, you're taking it too far, you're making me go crazy, is this satisfying to you? I'm not leaving until I see you. You don't love me, you never did. That's why it's so easy for you to leave. I always stayed through everything, and you would blow up my phone and threaten me and hurt me, and I'd still be here. This is torture you're doing to me. I never once did this to you. You tell me you don't want me to, and this is driving me to that point. I promise you, my daughter won't be here tomorrow if I don't see you right now. Now, I don't know what exactly happened between Huda landing at LAX and then this whole situation with her texting Louis like this. There is a moment in the text messages that Storytime with Ricky does share. It's the text where we see a photo of like her on a rooftop, and she says, I'm always honest. I'm sorry I lied about what I lied about, but I was always honest. So I'm like, did they maybe get into a fight about her lying about something because she is admitting to lying about something and he is just not responding to her, and then she is absolutely just losing her mind because he is not responding, and then, you know, she's accusing him of cheating. So I don't know if she had his location and saw that he was at his baby mama's apartment and then started to spiral and think that he was cheating on her. I don't know what the case was, but obviously she absolutely scared Nicole so bad and just lost her mind. Like, why did you go to that apartment? Like, that is just wild. But even though Nicole filed the restraining order, it still seems like Louis and Huda are still together, as he was posting her on his Instagram story literally when all of this news was breaking. He posted, my queen, and Huda is out here saying what is going around about her is just not true. She said on her Instagram story, I'm aware of what's being said and it's not true. I'm handling everything the right way by letting legal take care of it. I appreciate everyone who continues to support me. She then posted herself at the gym. She's posted herself doing a brand deal. She also then posted me right now because I can't catch a break. And I will say that she is taking all of this time where everyone is talking about her to also tease music, because for a while now she has been posting herself in the studio recording music, and I guess she's deciding to take this time where everyone is talking about her to just let everybody know that she's still working on that music that I guess is going to be coming out at some point.
You ain't no good for me. I ain't no good for you. I'm not good. That was so fire. That was so cool. That was cool. That was cool. I like that.
Me, how you feel about that?
Yeah, exactly, Ona. That's what I
But
think.
that is what is going on with Huda and what has been said about her this week. The status of what she had to say about all of it, and the fact that her and Louis still seem to be together despite the fact that his baby mama got this restraining order, and it was not just to protect herself but also their son. But let me know what you guys think about everything that has been said. Tell me in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Three people are in the hospital after a stabbing at Walton Middle School this morning. The suspect was identified as a 7th grade student at the school. News 13's Riley Lehman joins us live from Walton Middle School. Riley, how did this tragic event unfold?
Shelby, at approximately 7:17 this morning, the suspect was dropped off at Walton Middle School. He immediately walked into the bathroom, then walked out masked and armed with a sharp weapon. He attacked the first student he came in contact with, stabbing them multiple times, then went down the hall and attacked a paraprofessional. He then stabbed another student before fleeing the school. Sheriff Michael Atkinson says the scene unfolded quickly.
The entire attack, the entire actual physical attack, took place in less than about 45 seconds. So as you can imagine, this happened very, very quickly.
The suspect was taken into custody within minutes. He is currently being interviewed at the Walton County Sheriff's Office. Two of the victims, who are students, are in critical condition. The paraprofessional did not sustain life-threatening injuries.
Yeah, it's crazy. Insane.
And Riley, I'm told the sheriff's office is working with the state attorney's office to decide the charges for the suspect.
Yeah, honey.
I'm assuming coming up on News 13 at 6, we'll learn more about how the sheriff's office is investigating this attack. Riley, thank you.
I'm protecting children.
Oh yeah, look at
what were they doing in the interview? What was your son doing something?
Okay, so if you guys don't know who this is Josh and Joseph's mother, 19 kids and counting, star Michelle Duggar. Now her second son has been arrested for he allegedly I'm trying to think of the word, did something to a child in Florida that was 9 years old. And then his wife and him also got arrested. Well, his wife then got arrested and he got charged with 4 counts because they have 4 children, 4 counts of endangering a child, and then 4 counts of false imprisonment. Because in this Fundy family, they like to lock the children in the rooms. That's what I'm assuming it is because Michelle Duggar did the same thing. If you've never seen the video about the Duggars and how Michelle Duggar and her children correct what they call correct a child, and the whole thing with putting them on a blanket and then they hide, and if they get off the blanket they quote unquote correct them. Yeah, if you've not seen that, definitely take that rabbit hole. But this is the mother of those 19 children, and she took custody of their kids because they can't be around their kids. The mother did bond out. This father, I don't think he's bonded out because he has to go to Florida and then obviously face the other charges. But the mother did bond out, but Michelle went and got custody of the children, and a paparazzi spotted her after that. And this is what happens. And then she says, I'm protecting children. Like the audacity of that to come out of your mouth.
I'm protecting children. What are you doing?
What were they doing in the interview? What was your son doing something definitely worse?
You have the right to be here.
As we all know, the Duggars have tried their hardest to keep a low profile and be private since 2021 after Josh was found guilty on some horrific charges related to kids. But now they really have been hiding out to avoid the mass chaos related to their son Joseph Duggar's charges. And Kendra. Michelle was spotted out by a reporter and completely spazzed out on him. And I don't think that I have ever seen Michelle raise her voice past a level 5. The reporter came to the road and was approached by Michelle as she had her phone out. He immediately starts recording her for his protection. Michelle says that she is protecting children, which is an interesting statement considering she didn't protect her own children from her son Josh, who was allowed back into the family home just months after the touching.
Okay.
You are interfering with children.
No, I'm not messing with the children.
Yes,
This has nothing to do.
Yes, you are. They were children.
This has nothing to do with the children. This is you guys are being investigated for the children. I'm here for press.
I'm not saying this reporter is in the right because no one wants media all over their butts at a time like this.
So, if you guys didn't know, 4 of the sisters alleged that their brother Josh, which is who was arrested back in 2021 or found guilty, and is serving like a 20-year sentence for the things that he had on his computer. They tried to say it was somebody else's. I mean, they tried everything. He got out and was with a guardian, and he was still seeing his wife, and it was a mess. I covered it on Instagram some. And TikTok a little bit. But yeah, it was a mess. So 4 of his sisters before this all happened, like 10 years before he got caught, right? He was a juvenile, but 4 of his sisters came forward, said that he touched them. And what did they do? Their dad went to another like person in the church who happened to be a police officer, so the police officer could talk to their son and quote unquote like scare him or something, but it was never reported. Even the police officer didn't report it. And they had their 4 daughters who got abused by their son go on national television and fucking apologize to their abuser. Like, this is how much these Fundy families protect the men in the family. And that's exactly why these men are doing this shit out here in all of our public and getting arrested for it. I mean, this one of their brothers, the one that just got arrested, it was a 9-year-old and they were in Florida, I guess on vacation or some shit, and he molested that little girl allegedly.
However, it looks like this may be at the location Kendra and the kids are staying at for now during the cases. We shall see what comes out next. I am actually surprised that Michelle approached this person. Michelle normally has this keep sweet personality. She never raises her voice. She always lets Jim Bob handles the hard stuff, but this really shocked me. Maybe it's the adrenaline, maybe it's just her frustration and her anger. Maybe she's been followed by paparazzi all day. Who knows? But
Yeah, that's just who she is, in my opinion. I mean, they just keep having kids, and then their other kids take care of those kids, and it's just crazy. Saying the church fixed him was sickening and proves the behavior is taught from the church they attended. Yeah, I mean, if you go through all that, which is the total rabbit hole with all that stuff, but the men that they were like going to counsel, and Josh was supposed to, he went to this like retreat or some shit to counsel, like everybody that was involved in basically fixing his issue were also, in my opinions, doing the same shit. So it's like, how the hell is he like? How's they're not even telling him is wrong really because they have the same shit going on in their brain. Um, exactly, Jennifer. Exactly. What the fuck do you see in a 9-year-old? And he's married with his own children. Like, not to say that there aren't men that do it otherwise, but it's like you have kids of your own and you're out. Why would you? That is disturbing. Especially with the history of the family and and the women are they're just as guilty because you're in my opinion there's no way you don't know what's going on. Obviously with the 4 daughters come forward and you make them apologize to him. Like, what is going on? You don't report it. Nobody they went to reported it. It's crazy. They don't have a show now. No, little birdie. They had a long running show on TLC. Like, those children, everything they did when they were younger was all on TV. When it was on TLC. They even had a spin-off show for the older kids, I think, like once they got older. Or like it followed them, but I can't remember what that one was called. But yeah, it's called 19 Kids and Counting. If you literally just go on YouTube and search like 19 Kids and Counting, expose, or like there's so much. It's a total rabbit hole for sure. Um, so yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of True Crime with me, your host, Feminine and Fierce. I will see you guys on Thursday for another episode at 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you're coming back for the malarkey, I will see you at 11 for that. I hope to see you there. Bye, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed it.